Welcome to Have You Read It, the channel where we bring books to life, one summary at a time. Today, we're exploring Sarah Scoles' Countdown, The Blinding Future of Nuclear Weapons. A deep dive into the world of nuclear weapons research, development, and policy in the United States. This isn't your typical Cold War history lesson. Scoles brings us right into the present, to the labs, the scientists, and the communities grappling with the complex realities of a nuclear world in the 21st century. Scoles begins near Los Alamos National Laboratory in the mountains of New Mexico. This place, once a secret city during the Manhattan Project, is where the first atomic bomb was created. Scoles uses this historical context to set the stage for her exploration of the lab's current mission, maintaining and modernizing the U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile. We're introduced to Tess Light, a physicist at LANL who works on nuclear detonation detection. It's a fascinating juxtaposition, a scientist dedicated to detecting nuclear explosions working at the very place that helped create them. Light, and many scientists like her, embody a central paradox of the book. They're working to prevent the use of weapons they believe shouldn't exist. Light's work focuses on space-based sensors that detect nuclear detonations. These sensors are carried on GPS satellites and monitor Earth for telltale signs of nuclear explosions. Her story intertwines with the history of such detection systems, including the Vela satellites, which accidentally discovered gamma-ray bursts while monitoring for nuclear tests. It's a fascinating example of how national security science can inadvertently lead to important scientific discoveries. Light is collaborating with Josh Carmichael, another LANL scientist, on the Integrated Nuclear Detonation Detection Project. Their goal is to fuse data from space-based and ground-based sensors to create a more comprehensive and reliable detection system. This project is a key example of how the labs are trying to modernize not just the weapons themselves, but also the systems that monitor their use. It highlights the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration in addressing complex challenges. The narrative shifts to explore plutonium pits, the cores of nuclear weapons. The U.S. hasn't produced new pits on a large scale since the 1980s, and the existing stockpile is aging. Congress has mandated that LANL and the Savannah River site restart pit production, a program estimated to cost billions of dollars. This raises important questions about the rationale for this program, as well as safety and environmental concerns. Some argue that new pits are essential for maintaining a credible nuclear deterrent, while others question their necessity and the potential for triggering an arms race. Scoles revisits the history of Rocky Flats, a former pit production plant in Colorado that was shut down due to environmental violations. This historical context underscores the potential risks associated with plutonium production and highlights the challenges of balancing national security needs with environmental protection. The modernization of nuclear weapons isn't just about building new pits. It's also about upgrading existing weapons with new components and technologies. This raises questions about whether these upgrades are truly necessary for maintaining a reliable deterrent, or if they are blurring the line between maintaining and enhancing the U.S. nuclear arsenal. Scoles emphasizes the lack of transparency surrounding these upgrades, which makes it difficult for the public to assess their true purpose. Scoles highlights the crucial role of computer simulations in maintaining the nuclear stockpile in the absence of testing. Mark Paris, a LANL physicist, is working to improve the accuracy of these simulations by addressing long-standing problems in the underlying physics. He expresses concern that a culture of complacency at the lab may be hindering progress. This theme resonates throughout the book. Are the labs truly committed to rigorous scientific inquiry, or are they content with maintaining the status quo? The book explores the role of supercomputers in simulating nuclear explosions. The labs have a long history of pushing the boundaries of computing technology, and this work has often benefited the broader computing industry. However, Scoles questions whether ever faster computers alone can solve the complex challenges of stockpile stewardship. She also touches on the potential of quantum computing to revolutionize nuclear simulations. This discussion raises broader questions about the relationship between science, technology, and national security. The book examines the intersection of basic science and national security science. Christopher Fryer, a LANL astrophysicist, embodies this duality, working on both weapons-related research and astrophysics simulations. He argues that the best scientists at the labs are those who can bridge the gap between these two worlds. This highlights the often blurry line between basic and applied research, and the complex motivations that drive scientific inquiry. Scoles examines the culture of secrecy surrounding nuclear weapons research. Tess Light expresses frustration with the over-classification of information, even data that has little to do with national security. Alex Wellerstein, a historian of nuclear secrecy, provides valuable insights into the history and rationale for this secrecy, as well as its potential drawbacks. He argues that excessive secrecy can hinder scientific progress, undermine democratic principles, and even fuel conspiracy theories. This discussion raises important questions about the balance between national security and transparency. The book examines the corporate management of the national labs. The shift from university management to corporate management has raised concerns about the prioritization of profits over scientific research and the potential for safety and security lapses. Scoles details the controversies surrounding this shift, including the shutdown of the LANL, the Real Story blog, which provided an anonymous platform for lab employees to voice their concerns. This discussion raises broader questions about the role of private contractors in managing sensitive government facilities. Scoles also looks at nuclear non-proliferation and counterterrorism efforts. She details the work of NEST, which responds to nuclear and radiological threats, and NERAC, which models the spread of contaminants in the atmosphere. These programs highlight the ongoing challenges of preventing nuclear terrorism and responding to nuclear accidents. They also raise questions about the balance between preparedness and fear-mongering. The book shifts focus to the communities that host the national labs. Marilia Kelly, an activist in Livermore, California, founded Tri-Valley Cares, a watchdog group that monitors the environmental and health impacts of Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. Her story highlights the complex relationship between the labs and their neighbors, and the challenges of holding the labs accountable. Scoles also explores the Savannah River site in South Carolina, which is set to become a major plutonium pit production facility. She details the history of environmental contamination at SRS and the concerns of local activists about the risks of pit production. This discussion raises broader questions about the environmental legacy of the nuclear weapons complex and the challenges of cleaning up contaminated sites. The book concludes with reflections on the future of nuclear weapons and the challenges of achieving a world free of these weapons. Brad Roberts, a strategy expert at Livermore, argues that nuclear deterrence is essential in the current geopolitical climate. Emma Claire Foley of Global Zero advocates for the complete elimination of nuclear weapons. These contrasting perspectives highlight the ongoing debate about the role of nuclear weapons in international relations. Scoles also returns to Mark Paris, who continues to grapple with the complex challenges of nuclear weapons simulations and the uncertainties of the nuclear future. The main takeaway from Countdown is that the nuclear weapons issue is far more complex and nuanced than most people realize. It's not just a Cold War relic, it's a present-day reality with far-reaching implications for science, technology, policy, and the environment. The book encourages us to think critically about the role of nuclear weapons in our world and to engage in informed discussions about their future. Here are some easy-to-remember heuristics from the book. Always never. Nuclear weapons should always work when they're supposed to and never work when they're not supposed to. This highlights the lab's focus on reliability. Safe, secure, and reliable. This mantra underscores the goals of the Stockpile Stewardship Program. The third era of nuclear weapons. We're now in a period of modernization and production without testing, which presents new challenges and risks. Dual-use research. The same science that underpins nuclear weapons can also benefit basic research and civilian applications. This highlights the complex relationship between science and national security. Born classified. Much of the information surrounding nuclear weapons is automatically classified, which can hinder transparency and accountability. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next book dive.